Hello everyone, welcome back to today's video. So today we will be maintaining as every day we will be maintaining our lead code streak, and this is my 106th day, and I've already done the question myself also. So this is basically explanatory video on the go. So the question number 1513 is number of substrings with only ones. So what in the question is that we are given a binary string where it only contains zeros and one. Basically binary string means it only contains zeros and ones. So our job is to count how many substrings are made of only ones. So basically here we are given an example also. Suppose we are given an input s, which is a string name s. So it is 0 1 1 0 1 1 1. So basically we have to find number of substrings made of ones. So it can be the, suppose this is the one, 1 the last one. So this is also a substring, the three ones, the first two ones are also a substring, and the simple one is also substring. Similarly here we are given a consecutive block of substring 1 1. So here this one is also substring, double one is also substring. So basically if we have four ones, then we have four one of substrings, then we have three one of substrings, then we have two ones of substrings, then we have one substring. Basically one comes 5 times, double one comes 3 times, here 2 times, here 1 time, here 1 time, and here 1 time, so 3 times, and triple one comes 1 time here together. So basically we don't have to worry about the character of ones repeating. We just need the number of times they are appearing consecutively, and also the number of times they are together. Basically that is what we are given, and what we have to find is we have to find a number of strings which all the character of 1. So basically we have to return it in modulo form 10 to the power 9 plus some number, because it will be a large result, because we are including everything, and there can be a large string also. So that's why we are going to do it. So not doing any further ado, let me do the solution. I've already done the solution, but let me do it again for you guys. I will be doing in Java. I've already done C++, so I'm expanding it. I hope you guys can see it clearly. So let's write the code, and before writing the code, let me also tell you the concept. Basically the key insight behind this is, suppose we have a block of length L. Suppose there's this string s equals to 0 0 1 1 0 0 0 0 1. So basically what we are given is, if we have a block, suppose here we have a block of 1 so what the main formula behind this is, it has number of ones, 3 ones. So the L will be, the number of ones will be 3. Let's take it as that. So the formula for that is, it will have 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 substring. So that is basically what it is. It is basically a formula of n into n plus 1 by 2. So if we have L in a substring of S, if we have L consecutive ones, then for each block, basically this block 1 this block, if we take 4 more ones, so this complete block of consecutive ones, this complete block of consecutive ones, if we take that, so for each block we will have L into L plus 1, L plus 1, and divided by 2. So this is the formula, this is the key insight we are going to do, and this is what we are going to employ in the code and understand it. So let's go through the code. The code is nothing but basically a declaration of variables, where first we will be declaring the mod, because they have asked us to put it in mod form, because it will be a big answer, then the count, and then the answer, and then we will be running a for loop, and inside for loop we will be running if and else statement, and returning the final answer that we are required, which is the number of substrings with continuous ones. What we have to return, let me confirm it again. We have to return the number of substrings with all ones. Okay, so it can be 1 2 or 3, whatever. So let me expand it for you. I hope you guys can see it clearly in the screen recording. What we are going to do is, we are going to do in Java. So we already have the public and num string s. Now we are going to define the variables. So variable will be, we are using long data type here, because we don't want to mess up with all the larger values that can be provided, because here we are like experimenting and understanding with smaller values, but there can be very large values in this case, because like it is a consecutive thing and it is gonna repeat a lot every time. So So that is what we are gonna do here. 007 semicolon is very important. Then we will be assuming. So as you know, in every coding question, if you have noticed, first we assume that the thing is 0, what we are trying to find. Like here we are trying to find the number of substrings with consecutive ones. So here the number is also we are taking as 0 in the beginning, and the number of substrings also basically we are taking 0. Now we are going to run a for loop. Basically we will be initializing first int I equals to 0 semicolon I less than, where we have to take care of this thing. This is a function, basically length function, so it should be less than the string length, which is the string s, because like at all times if it is greater than that, then the question won't be able to solve itself. So I will be adding an increment operator here, again curly braces. Now we will be running a if statement. So I am also writing code, so if you guys can understand another way, otherwise I will also explain, or try to explain at least. So here we are using the s string, and we are using a function character at I, which is running in the for loop. The same thing should be equal to 1. Why? If it is equal to 1, then we count it, no, that it is 1, and then again if another one, then we again count it. So that is what is going, and if it is not, then what will happen is it will consider it as a block and then run that formula of L into L plus 1 divided by 2. Basically it is same as like you guys learning in school, like 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus like sum of all natural numbers n into n plus 1 by 2. That is what we are doing here similarly. So the important thing is the logic building. Code you can do in any language, like it is almost same in Java and C++. I have not tried it in Python, but I feel it is gonna same that one also. So count into again. So here, like in a question, in an example, I gave you L into L plus 1 divided by 2. Here we are taking count variable, which will be adding to the answer with the variable which is gonna give the count final answer. So count plus again count plus 1 divided by 2. So this is what we are gonna do, and we are gonna divide it by like the mod by the mod itself, so that it will not give a very large answer. And now we are gonna keep our count to 0, because it is gonna reset after it and again go to the other ones. Now finally we are gonna again, after like staying out of the loop, we are gonna again return an answer. So answer equals to answer plus, I hope you guys can hear me clearly, otherwise you can slower the video or maybe increase the sound or use headphones. Basically I know the sound quality is not that great. I might use mic in the further videos, so thank you for cooperating. Again we are going to use the same modulus function. So what is happening here is, what we are doing here is, like we will be returning in the int format. This is a very important thing which we make a mistake on, is that we are not declaring the data type of the variable that we are using in these languages, because like these are very sensitive languages, even case sensitive and dynamically sensitive languages, so we have to take care of these things. So this is the final solution. First we will be declare a mod, then like let me give you line by line explanation of this also. Give me a second, let me go through it. So the line by line explanation starts from here, the way we have declared. So we are declaring mod. It is a problem which asks for answer in modulo, so we are declaring a mod specially, otherwise we don't have to, but it is always good for optimizing space complexity. It is not gonna take much space after this. Then the second line, long answer equals to 0. So basically this is a variable which accumulates total substrings, and we are using long obviously to avoid overflow before modulo. And then the current long count is the same thing we are using long for, and it counts the current length of contiguous ones. So the continuous ones, they are using the current length. So basically if we have 0 0 double 1, then again 0 0 triple 1, so first it will count the double ones, then it will count the triple ones, and it is updating continuously. Now we will be using loop. So we'll be running a for loop where if we have 1 already, then we will count it, because we need to find the continuous number of ones in a substring. So it is good for us. And if it is not 1, if then we are gonna use an else statement where we finish a block, because if it is not 1 then it is 0, then again we are gonna find a 1. So we finish a block and we add its contribution, which is in this variable ans answer, and add its contribution to the count into count plus 1 by 2, which is basically L into n plus 1 by 2, if you guys remember, which I explained. And then it reset the count to 0 and again count the ones. So basically again it counts the 1, and then again after loop we have the remaining block, and then we again add it and same function, and we return it in the form of integer which fits the module. So let me minimize this thing and run it for you guys. So it has already run. We have passed all the test cases, and the runtime is very much optimized to 0 milliseconds, and it's 5 ms. So this is it. You guys can take the screenshot of code itself here itself. Let me again zoom it for the last time, but the complete code at the same time. So here is the code. You guys can take screenshot. Thank you. Let's meet tomorrow.